So it is some kind of redistribution from down to up, to the top. From those, it is taken from them and added to this income of the rich and the upper class. I will make a mirror picture of this, only to illustrate the effect. This mirror picture can be imagined now like a cone. And in this cone there is a sucking effect. From these edges of the poor and middle class to the upper class. And this effect is not only continuing from year to year and not obvious, but it happens day and night. But it's also escalating. The velocity of it becomes faster and faster. There is no technical machine which is functioning on this basis, because it will break down at some degree. But the interest system brings this effect from sucking the money and the basis of living, material living, from big parts of society to a small part of upper class, which accumulate richness in dimensions which the usual human being cannot imagine. And there's an additional aspect that specifically this money and these assets and this richness has a lot of possibilities not to pay taxes. There are a lot of legal possibilities to avoid tax paying, and they have their consultants who show how to do it. And there are additional, more or less illegal possibilities, which we all know. But even in the legal context, there is happening the result that those who have accumulated the most of the richness, that they pay the less, more or less the less contribution to finance the public budget. So in some way one could say this accumulated money is disappearing into the black holes. We know it, this expression out of physics, astrophysics, the black holes in the universe, they have such kind of attraction that no light comes out of them. And here we could say these are the black holes of the international financial markets. Okay, I will focus on another aspect of this interest system and start with a different graph where I show here social product or national product, let's say national product, goods and services, and here I show the national income, the sum of incomes in an economy, national income. And both are connected, where during the time where this is produced, the incomes flow, and the incomes are the source to demand this parts of national product. Here is the demand. Demand for consume goods. Now again, this C is in this graph, but it means consuming. Consuming income, consume demand. Those individuals or households demand parts of the national product in form of consuming goods and services. Then there's another part, additionally, or some kind of surplus. This is called saving in context of the whole economy. Saving. And long time in economic theory, starting with Adam Smith more than 200 years ago, and then continuing or repeating in later theories, as I already mentioned very short, the neoclassical theory, 100 years around that, it was founded after the classical economy or economics. Again and again there was the idea that what is saved on this side will be brought to the banks, to the commercial banks, and these commercial banks will lead it through and will lend it to debitors, for example, companies, corporations, for investment. They then demand investment goods, machines and factory halls and administration buildings and whatever. So if this would happen, there would be enough demand on national product so that there would be no problem to sell the national product in total, in the sum. The aggregated demand would fit to the aggregated supply. And there may be differences in several sectors, but there the prices would indicate it and lead to change. I do not want to go into these details. They are generally known, these ideas. But the question is, if this is not functioning like this, what are the consequences? And there was one very interesting economist, but he was not on the academic way. He didn't study economics, but he developed a deep interest in the interest system and its problems. And I mentioned this name, the Silvio Gesell. Usually his name is not found in the textbooks of academic economics. And I myself didn't hear in my study about his name and his theory, and decades after having finished my study and already having taught in some kind of university, I came on the track of Silvio Gesell and his quite different view on the specifically on the interest system. Also on the problem of land, which is the next issue here, as I heard in this group. The land property and its consequences. Silvio Gesell asked, couldn't it be that from this money, which is surplus, a part is taken away out of the circulation? He called it hoarding. Hoarding does not necessarily mean that one takes this money and put it into below the bed or in the house or in the flat. It means to draw money out of this circulation, which we now call the real economy. The real economy, where there are produced and demanded real goods and services.